What a crazy week last week. This is what you need to know. Rising wedge. What's that, Grandpa? I'll show you. That is a rising wedge. Now, next week, I know everything you guys want to hear. So this is your rising wedge, right? You can draw it from the spot of the gap down. So usually, if this can't fill the gap straight out of the gate on Monday, it will result in weakness and this gap needs to fill. So you're essentially just bouncing around between two gaps. Okay, fantastic. Give us all the juice. I will. Monday, take your pencil and paper or your phone. Monday, early low. Tuesday, early low. Wednesday, early high. Thursday, early high. Friday, early high. Okay, usually this pattern on Monday is a rally day, which means possibility to go to the gap or fill the gap. If it does not, it will be very weak. So expect to move on Monday. Okay, with that said, what am I going to be doing? I want this to fill before we head higher. With big weeks like this week, meaning we got from now until the election, it's all big stuff, right? You have PPI and CPI this week, but you have an interesting development as far as Iran and Israel bombed a school, 100 people died, and Russia got hit as well this weekend. So they are really pushing from the other side for this retaliation to happen. Usually these things happen during the weekend. If they happen during the week, that means that market gets shocked. But because it's war dip, it's a Bible dip. So, again, pay attention. That's why you're watching this video, because these videos have all of the good stuff. You have a QQQ ghost down to 434.13. That is the same as SPY 520. See here? That's where the gap is. Okay? What do you mean, what gap? Same gap I just showed you on SPX. Okay? So there's a gap at 520 right here. Okay, you just don't see it on SPY, but it's there once you zoom in because of these freaking after hours and blah blah blah. Yeah, here it's that that's the low, and then we come up, right? So there's a gap here. That's where we open. There's a gap here. That's what that QQQ ghost candle is indicating, that we will go fill this gap right here. That in its turn would make a higher low, and that is also very close to my demand zone. See that green box? Demand, and the supply zone is where we are here. Overall, I think it was very bearish on Friday that we just couldn't do it. We were getting close, right? And we closed right there, but we couldn't, like, why couldn't we go? Why did we reject here? Why couldn't we go to the gap? And that's all. So then I look at the NAMO and I'm spotting this. This is not straight up. We're not doing this here. So it could be that this is one of those weeks where we just stay range bound, but we do fill both gaps. So in that case, what do? Well, you set alerts around the QQQ and the SPY gap. You buy it, right? And same thing here. If we fill the gap to the upside, that could be a nice short spot. So going into the next week here, come on, what you doing? Here we go. we're going into the week. Usually I do this calendar the last thing, but anyways, I'm gonna do it right now. This, since the 10 and the 30 didn't really move, you could get some nice scalps, yada yada yada, but the big moves this week are gonna be centered around PPI, Tuesday pre-market, Redbook, and Bostik. Maybe not so much Redbook, but definitely that and that. This might cause some stir. We don't know if there's going to be any war after hours any of these days. You do have European data coming out. You got mortgages, you got CPI, and this is a very interesting setup where core month over month is slated to come in hot, year over year, same, and yeah. So if it's in line, should be a-okay, since they were talking about jobs. Remember that. We got Japanese data, a lot of data, and then obviously the jobs. Now we know that we want good numbers for a good move up. And again, I said mortgage rates. We got the Fed balance sheet coming out. Very interesting. And Friday, building permits, Michigan numbers. Okay. And we got some Fed speakers. I don't know if everyone is on the calendar. So, interesting week. I do think that both gaps fill. Basically, I'm waiting to see which one does it first. We got, if we are weak on Monday, we're going down to here. And I'd be interested if we can go down here already on Monday along it. If it's Tuesday along it. If it's Wednesday along it. Okay. Now overall, end of day Friday kind of ran out of juice for the market because they had it parked between premiums just perfect, which is good to remember. Still a lot of call buying. That does not mean that we can't go down as well this week. Again, that rising wedge, there's also puts, so it's not like 6-0, but you can count this wave here, and we need one more wave down before we go higher. The sports calendar, I don't know if this is delayed here and we get that wave down before we start ripping. Very possible that we rip into the full moon. That's what it looks like. Okay. But overall, that's the market. Then you have this situation with premiums. For a long time, basically a year and a half almost, premiums have been range bound, right? You can see here the VIX pretty much in range. Then you had this move. It should have one more bounce. Once it's back under this major trend line, premiums will return to normal and everything will be put in its right place. That's how I view this as, at least, okay? And then same thing with the 10-year. What's it gonna do, right? Where's the real reading? We don't quite know that yet, okay? But that's my overall plan. As far as the carry trade, the fear is gone. That doesn't mean that everything is done skis, but banks clearly got some inflow. I have way higher targets for these. You can check the Ghost Candle tab. Dom and I and whoever catches them always post all of them right there. And Dom has his full list in the Full Moon Circle for you guys to check out. But I'll be watching the banks, obviously. One question here is the following. What is going to be the driver when the market goes back up? Because is it actually going to be Apple to some crazy new highs? Because a lot of the carry trade also had to do with the whole AI sector. Now, I am bullish on NVIDIA. I have way higher targets on it coming up. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't need to base a little bit, right? So Monday is going to be crucial to watch end of day. Do we go higher, or do we finish higher, or do we start the decline? And then I'll know a little bit how I'm going to play it for the rest of the week. Google looked great. SPY, they're not like buying up all the dark pool here, and we have that. So do I favor a little bit of a pullback here? Yes, to fill that gap and then start heading north. FANG names, Meta has been very, very strong. Google, clearly something's going on here. As far as DJT and Tesla, you got Elon and Trump on Monday. Now, all you got to do is go to the daily, and you see here where we've come down to test this. Does it fill the gap and go back up here because it's got two gaps, or does this reject hard, find support here, or die? All of these names are primed to go way higher. It's a matter of, do we do it straight out of the gate? As you can see here, look at the Apple Cloud. It's just, after we retook it, it's just writing it up. Or do we need to fill that gap? Either way, I need to know a little bit more info about it. That's how I feel. So, as I mentioned last week, I don't know if I'm going to be trading Monday morning. Kind of want to see. Plus, premiums are going to be juiced. If you have any questions beyond this video, you can always ask some of the Hall of Famers, Dom, Todd, or WJ. I mean, there's dozens of excellent traders in the room. Interesting earnings might be Home Depot. C Limited is always a big mover. Sometimes I play Home Depot. Can be a little tricky though, and I haven't been all over these earnings. I will be looking at Baba and Walmart. Sometimes Baba has a run up. So let's say we get a bottom early on in the week. This could be a great IV play, by the way. So kind of a week with a lot of info that we need to know, and then we have the whole shit show going on as far as the politics with the AI campaign and you name it. But again, here I just want to show you under the hood, like there's a lot of SPY puts, but price is still going up. So I would want a knife to catch, kill the premiums, get the beaks where it belongs, and then go. So I don't know if I'll be on every morning this week. I'll let you guys know. You have the patterns, early highs and early lows. They can only do one of two things. And when I jump on, I'll be on voice, and then I'll be posting the recaps and basically going for a little bit more of a sure thing play this week, trying to catch the weekly low in the money, especially if it comes back, if it's early in the week like Tuesday, Wednesday. And again, not saying it will happen, but we haven't had a CPI gap down and then rip. So especially if we're just chopping Monday, Tuesday on all the news and data, I'll be looking to catch something down there. Basically, trying to catch a few less YOLOs and a few more sure things this week, because there's a lot of question marks. And whenever you see them starting to go through the shitty stock, again, the market's changing, right? So this is holding a nice 4-hour trend. Kind of want to see here if it bounces down here. But main thing, again, to keep a lookout is once we get a daily buy signal, do we get continuation or backtest, right? Usually you want that backtest to hold and then go, because the RSI is not over 50 yet. Okay, so you're looking for this to backtest really quickly though, so fast that it doesn't kill this and then go. That's kind of what the NAMO is suggesting. So just prepare yourself mentally for that this week. And with that said, guys, I will see you when I jump on the train on Monday. If you have any questions, post in the chat. This video should pretty much cover everything, and then we'll see what we know once we make the recap on Monday. God bless. going. We're going to the moon, baby.
776